Hello and welcome to Angel's Corner. Today's episode is called Is It Worth Your Salvation? Now, this is a question that I had to ask myself repeatedly, especially in a certain season of life, because I was seeking revenge and I was seeking unforgiveness instead of seeking first the kingdom like we're meant to do. And I had to keep asking myself, like, is it worth it? Is it worth me storing this unforgiveness, keeping somebody imprisoned in my heart, which is only affecting me, by the way? Is it worth my salvation? Is it worth my mental state? Is it worth it? Obviously, it wasn't. That's why I'm making this video. But the verse that helped get me together, and the book that we're reading out of today is the book of Matthew. But Matthew 5:22 says, "But I say, if you're even angry with someone, you are subject to judgment. If you call someone an idiot, you're in danger of being brought before the court. And if you curse someone, you're in the danger of the fires of hell." Okay, that verse got me all the way together, especially that last part, you're in the danger of the fires of hell. Because I was like, hold on, I'm not going to hell for you. That's what I kept saying. Like, other than is it worth your salvation, I kept asking myself, are you willing to go to hell over it? Are you willing to go to hell over revenge? Are you willing to go to hell over unforgiveness? Is it worth it? Is keeping somebody imprisoned in my heart worth my salvation? No, it's not. So that verse helped me get myself together and really start to ask myself the important stuff like, why am I keeping somebody imprisoned in my heart? And why am I holding unforgiveness against somebody when God has forgiven me over and over? So I feel like unforgiveness comes with a lot of arrogance because when you don't forgive somebody, you feel like they're indebted to you. You're owed an apology, you're owed this, you're owed that, and you feel like I can treat you any type of way because look how you did me, right? And in reality, that's not the case. It's not the case at all, okay? So I just had to keep reminding myself of how many times God has forgiven me and what if He held that over my head, and all the times that people have forgiven me for stuff that I did. So while I'm sitting here in my unforgiveness, God is actively forgiving me for not forgiving you. And there are consequences of unforgiveness. So that's why we're going to go through Matthew 19, the parable of the unforgiving debtor. So I'm going to give you a little summary of it, okay? Okay, so a debtor was brought to the king, right? And obviously, like, he didn't have the money to pay him. So the king was like, okay, like, you're going to be punished for this. And the debtor was like, no, like, please. And he begged and he bargained. And the king was like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to let you free, right? And then that same person who begged for forgiveness and was set free by the king turned around and literally went like this to another servant because he didn't have his money owed. And then word got back to the king, and the king was like, hold on. Like, did I not just forgive you? Weren't you just given forgiveness? Why would you not extend that to the person that you literally just got to choking because they didn't have your money? You didn't have my money. So the king sent that person who felt he was above forgiveness to prison, and he sent him to be tortured until he gave the money. And then this is said in Matthew 19:33. Shouldn't you have mercy on your fellow servant just as I had mercy on you? Then the angry king sent the man to prison to be tortured until he had paid his entire debt. That's what my heavenly Father would do to you if you refuse to forgive your brothers and sisters from your heart. Okay, so obviously this is a parable, right? And you may be thinking, how does this apply to me? So in this situation, I was the person who begged for forgiveness, and then I went around and held somebody like that because I couldn't forgive. But it's like I literally begged God for mercy, so why would I not extend the same mercy to somebody else, right? And then the punishment of doing so is was prison in this situation, right? So a lot of times we can put ourselves in prison by not forgiving somebody. We're putting ourselves in a position of unforgiveness, and that's causing so much harm to us that we feel like we are entrapped. You're trapped in unforgiveness. You're literally in prison to it. There are consequences to unforgiveness. You lose your peace, you lose your good mental state, and you start to have a sense of anger and also a sense of superiority. Like, as I said earlier, there's a certain arrogance in not forgiving somebody. Just like this servant had arrogance and just feeling like you're above somebody because this person owes you. He felt like he was above this other servant who owed him, even though he literally just got through begging for forgiveness from the king. Both of you all do not have any money. Okay? In this situation, it applies to me because both of us have sinned, right? But I felt like I was superior to this person because I went and I asked for forgiveness from the very same person who's also going to forgive who I'm angry at. So it just feels like when you look at it from this point of view and when you look at it from this parable, it's like, how could you do that? And then you look and you're like, oh, I do that. Same with the book of Genesis when it went to Lot's wife. It's like, why would she look back from something God delivered her from? Whole time you're keeping unforgiveness in your heart. That is looking back. That's being Lot's wife. But that's a story for another day. Anyways, um, this just helped me in a season where I was just full of unforgiveness. I was full of anger. I was full of revenge. And I had to keep asking myself the same question. Like I said, like, is it worth your salvation? Are you willing to go to hell for it? Like, okay, yeah, I can get you back. Yeah, I can do this. I can do that. But is it worth going to hell for? And is it worth being a hypocrite? Because that's hypocritical. I don't want to forgive you, but I'm literally begging God to forgive me every day. So then, I started to do a 180 because I was like, hold on, like this is silly. Like this is literally so stupid. I'm keeping somebody imprisoned in my heart, and the only person it's affecting is me. And it's also affecting my relationship with God because how can I lay my head on my pillow at night and pray for forgiveness when I'm holding people hostage in my heart and feeling like I'm above them? Oh, you owe me this, you owe me that. You don't owe me anything. And you don't, and I'm like, oh, they don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Hello, like, I don't deserve the forgiveness. Neither do they, but we got it. We got a free gift of forgiveness. I couldn't earn that. So I'm like, oh yeah, this person should earn my forgiveness. They should do this. They should do that. Who am I feeling like? Like that's literally what I had to ask myself. Like, who are you feeling like? Like you feel like this person is indebted to you. You feel like this. You feel like that, and they can't earn it. I couldn't earn it. I'm indebted. I didn't deserve it, and I still got it. I still got forgiveness. So it's not in good conscience. It's not in good heart posture to sit here and hold somebody hostage in your heart, which, by the way, is only affecting you. That person is, well, I was about to say free as a bird, but even if you don't feel conviction, you still have consequences for your actions. Another thing that was also affecting me and caused me to ask myself, like, is it worth your salvation? Is the perception of the person who's hurting you prospering after. Because it's like, okay, like I'm so hurt and you're literally like doing just fine. But in reality, you never know how somebody's doing, and there are consequences for everything. There's consequences of me being unforgiving. I had no peace. I had no peace because I was holding people hostage in my heart and I had so much ego and just pride, like the servant. Like I was forgiven, and I'm gonna turn around and not forgive you. That's foolish. So I was living in imprisonment basically. Like I had no peace. I was very angry because I felt like, okay, resentment was worth my salvation. It was worth me prospering, which is crazy. But anyways, the book of Psalms helped me with that too. Because we know that in the book of Psalms, David was literally calling out to God, and his mind was changing every couple seconds. And we know that his foes and his enemies, for a while, it felt like they were prospering against him. And he kept asking God, like, how long are you going to sit here and let them attack me, basically? So that really helped me. But in the book of Psalms, it talks about a lot about how the wicked do not prosper, and how when somebody does something to you, when somebody offends you, like there are consequences for that. Like God has something for that. Because for me, it's like sometimes when I get angry and like somebody does me wrong and I'm not actively going into prayer, I'm not thinking of a verse to like stop myself from acting insane. I used to think like, oh, I got something for that. Like I got something for you. And it definitely wasn't a prayer, okay? It was revenge. So and here it just tells us how God literally does have something for that. Like he has something even better than what we can imagine. And he has something that's not going to cost our salvation because it is literally not our job. It is not my job to go around giving people what they deserve, quote unquote. Because what if somebody gave me what I deserve? See, that's when that ego comes in. You think this person deserves that. Okay, what about you? What do you deserve? What have you done? What sins have you committed against others? Anyways, we are going to use Psalm 37, 35, verse 35 and 36. I have seen wicked and ruthless people flourishing like a tree in its native soil, but when I looked again, they were gone. Though I searched for them, I cannot find them. Look at those who are honest and good, for a wonderful future awaits those who love peace, but the rebellious will be destroyed. They have no future. Okay, that was verses 35 to 38. In that situation, I felt like, okay, I was rebellious because I'm rebelling against God with all this unforgiveness, all this resentment, all of this rage, right? And it's like, I don't want to be destroyed. The same what I said earlier, like, I don't want to go to hell. Like, even when they said, like, oh, in the book of Matthew, like, that unforgiveness is going to send you to hell. I was like, wait, I don't want to go there, you know? So like you have to do something, like you have to take action. Peace isn't just going to strike you in the head. No, you have to actively pursue it. The Bible tells us to search for peace and work hard to maintain it. It is hard to maintain peace, especially when people are wronging you, but that's not something that's foreign to God. Like look at how they did Jesus. Like and his prayer on the cross was still, Father, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing. And that's the type of humility that you have to have because like he had every right to be egotistical, Jesus, because he was perfect, but he was not. I'm not perfect, and I had the audacity to be egotistical and to hold somebody's wrongs against them and to move with unforgiveness and to think, oh, I'm going to give you exactly what you deserve. What about what I deserve? Anyways, when Jesus was on the cross, his prayer was still the same. Father, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing. He did not let his anger cause him to sin. And he still, even though he was scared, even though he, well, it didn't explicitly say that he was angry, but he did feel betrayed. I felt betrayed as well, but I acted with anger. But, anyways, he still had the same prayer, Father, forgive them for they do not know what they're doing. And he asked God to let his will still be done. That's the type of example that I had to start following because I started to look at the world and like their responses. And it's like, okay, um, I'm looking at worldly people. I'm like, oh, they did this, they did that, they did that. I should be doing that. I should go out and do this. So they know they can't mess with me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, who are you trying to be like? Are you trying to be like the world? Or are you trying to be like Jesus? Because that's not the type of stuff Jesus was on. He literally still prayed for the people who hurt him. So that's what I had to remember. And that's the question of, is it worth my salvation? That's what I had to keep asking because I don't find anything else worthy. I don't desire anything else above that. So I think I'm done for the day. But this has been on my heart for a really long time. Like I literally got this from my notes because I take a lot of notes and like of course like I write my Bible and things like that, but like my notes app is filled. And I had to keep asking myself, like, literally, is it worth it? Do you want to be a woman of God or not? Because for me, like I speak to myself very like bluntly. I still speak to myself like with kindness and love, but I'm also very blunt because that's how I just let things sink in for me. So for me, it was like, okay, do you want to? Are you willing to go to hell for it? Is it worth it? Is it worth your salvation? Do you want to be a woman of God or not? And it's like, how can you not move forward righteously after asking yourself those questions? So that's what I had to ask myself. So this is for anybody who feels like they're being a little bit too timid with their words and tiptoeing around the truth. Because for me, it was like, oh, I was being gentle, I was tiptoeing around the truth. In reality, hello, in reality, sometimes you have to face the harsh truth. Jesus told the harsh truth. So I was like, okay, let me be harsh here. Is it worth it? No. Do you want to be a woman of God or not? Okay. So yeah, I leave you with the question of, is it worth it? Is it worth your salvation? Thank you so much for watching. I pray that this reaches the right audience and that it helps somebody. And have a blessed day.